What's up, YouTube, and welcome to KangBrosTV. Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. 3 points, second in the league. The momentum is strong. It's a good time to be a Liverpool fan. Yeah. So for me, where was the game won and lost for you today?
I think, to be fair, do you know what? Obviously, I've always had a soft spot for Rafa anyway. But I think Rafa set up his team really well today, actually. Yeah. And there was, I hope I'm not the only one that thought this, but I did think today, I thought, oh no, it's one of those performances where we might struggle to get through it. I thought Rafa set his team up really well. They didn't engage high up the pitch. They stayed in their half. It wasn't even a three-quarter press. They didn't even press us until we got in their half, I think. But I thought on the flip side of it, I thought Klopp had some good tactics today. We were switching the play quite quickly, getting the ball and fizzing it out. I think Virgil did it quite early when he fizzed one out 50 yards, and I think Hendo did one the other side. So there was a game plan there to use that width and getting the ball out early, which was nice to see. It wasn't just the same old churn trying and break the doors down. And obviously, the amazing front three, just working hard and getting the goals. So really good.
What about the overall performance? Because for me, right, it didn't today. Maybe it was just me. It didn't flow. The I don't know, between the players. I don't know what it was. Some of the decision making.
Just giving the ball away today. So cheap.
Yeah,
it's so cheap. And to be honest, luckily Newcastle were doing the same thing. Otherwise, it could have been like a real sticky game, because it just felt like lethargic's the wrong word, because I think they pressed and they did huff and puff. They just lacked quality on the ball today, giving the ball away, and especially the two wide players today. We were really bigging up Robbo the other day. He had such a great game. I thought he was really poor today. I'll be honest with you, I thought he was poor today.
Since he's gone up the rise, this has definitely been his, worst performance yet. And that's being harsh, because he's obviously put his levels right up there. And like we always mention, our subscriber there, Michael, he always mentions about the wingers. And for me today, his point was shining bright in the sense that they offered us nothing today. Yeah. When going forward, the wingers today offered us absolutely nothing. I was watching closely. Like the balls that were coming in, the crosses, poor. I think that's just another dimension that we need to add for our team, definitely, to be with the elite.
Yeah, I think it's harsh to say they were poor. They offered us nothing. I think they offered us outlets, but I just thought the quality of what they offered us was poor.
Yeah,
that's what it was. They offered us the outlets. Yeah. They offered us the outlets, which is good, and it's nice to see that. And as I said, that switching of the play and the overlapping runs is good. But I just think today it was just a bit like you're watching it and you're like, if this was the first time I've ever watched Liverpool play, let's just say you're a Newcastle fan and you haven't watched Liverpool much and you watch that today, you'd be like, that Robertson's pretty shit, because he just kept giving the ball away, and even Trent today. So those were the bits that weren't great, I don't think. But I thought.
But going back to it's like if things aren't going well, if Liverpool aren't flowing like they normally do, you want to have a different outlet, right? To something to happen from nothing. And that's where I think we need to improve majorly on. And like today was a perfect example. If you compare ourselves against the elite. Like I said, Michael's mentioned this many times before. If you compare yourself to Real Madrid and the PSGs and all these kind of teams, they've got very, very good wing backs. And today it proved that we are lacking in that quality at the top.
Yeah, I think it's harsh to say that we're lacking. I think it's a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah, but so do you think that the quality that we've got there is good enough, though? I personally, I don't think so. It's not at that level yet. It could probably get to that level, possibly. But right now, if you compare it, I don't think we're there. In the wing-back position.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, question I put to you is, if Klein's fit, does Klein start?
Yeah, I'm massive fan.
Yeah,
I love Klein. I love Klein, yeah.
And if Klein playing, would you put Klein in that bracket of those top players? That's a big statement.
Yeah, big statement. Defensively, Klein is one of the best. But going forward, again, there's question marks there. But I like to see him. I want to see him back in, obviously. That's what I'm looking forward to.
But as I said, obviously, the way to take these comments is like, very happy, 2-0, great performance, a tricky side, playing quite well under Rafa, set them up really well, difficult to break down. They didn't really offer much going forward, but I think today is just another example of how Klopp has got Liverpool tight, stop us leaking, goals, another clean sheet. And a big shout out has to go to Loris Karius. That save he made just at the back end of the first half was an unbelievably good save. And they always say, if you score at half time or just before the half time whistle, it's equivalent of conceding 2. And that was a brilliant save.
It's like you said, it's a big save, and it was made at a very, very important time for us. And like they always say, in tough games, and these are the saves, and goalkeepers win you games. And this was a perfect example. This is twice we said this in a row now. We said Carrison against West Ham made a big save in that game as well. So I mean, his confidence has to be boosted by what he done,
Yeah.
and that save was massive.
And it's amazing what a run in the side does to a player. It doesn't matter what your position is. A run in the side, and look, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's it, goalkeeper problem sorted, done. I'd still like us to go and get a world class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt. But it is nice to see that Klopp's giving this guy faith. He's backed him. He's helped him find his feet, and he's playing well. And you have to give props where it's due. He played well, and that kind of leads nicely on to the next point,
which is VVD. We can't leave this guy out.
Yeah.
There's people who said to me, I think it was Muchie, one of our close mates. He said after the Tottenham game, he goes, VVD 75 million. Really? I mean, I can't hear you now because at the moment, look what he's doing. Our defense now is so much more solid than it has ever been. Since he's come in, every defender's going to take time to settle in. But you can see the difference he's making to our team. We're sort of getting these results now, grinding them out. Like I said, another clean sheet, and he has made a huge impact. So the 75 million now is forgotten. For me, it is. I don't know about everybody else. I'd like to hear your opinions on it. But for me, he's made a huge difference, right?
He's the only person that I'd say, as a defender, that he'll get into any of the teams in the top 6. He'll get into Man City side, as far as I'm concerned. He'd walk into Man City side. You'd have him playing alongside anybody else, like that Laporte or Stones and Company. Let's be honest, Company isn't the same player. So, for Man City, he could play for Man City. He'd walk into Chelsea's side. The defensive problems they've got. Man United would cry out for him. And again, as I said, 75 million was a lot of money, but end of the day, Liverpool have been making loads of money on transfer, so it's about time they spent it.
Yeah.
I'm all for him coming in January. Me and you had a bit of a heated discussion in the week, actually, between ourselves about Coutinho and Coutinho going in January. And he was saying, look, I can't see why he'd go in January. He'd want to play for the Champions League. No. Cack. If the chance is for him to go in January for Coutinho, it's just the same for VVD. It's just, the food chain is as it is. To get him in, get him acclimatised, get him up to speed, and then next season he hits the ground running. Why would you bring somebody in the summer and then try to bring him up to speed and acclimatised and all that sort of stuff? So I think it's a great bit of business. He's been fantastic. And the one thing that I really like about VVD is that switching the play. Getting that ball out your feet and fizzing it 50 yards, across field, a diag. Hitting a diag when you're in the shit. When they're turning you, they're pressing you and there's problems. Getting the ball out your feet and just fizzing it 50 yards. And to be able to do that, it just takes the pressure off you. There's centre-halves these days struggle to clip that pass. So today it was really, really good to see that. And I think that's why Klopp was so adamant of getting this guy. Because, he's a good defender. He's proven that he can be a leader. He's good in the air. He's kind of shoring things up at the back. But driving in with the ball, gets the ball out of his feet, drives into space. He has the ability to find a 5 to 10 yard pass. And he has the ability to play a diag and get us out of trouble. So on the whole, he's proven to be a really, really good signing.
The biggest thing is whenever a ball or a cross would come in, we would shit our pants as a Liverpool fans, thinking, we can't deal with these crosses. Now, have you heard anyone mention about anything a ball coming in? The thing is, we've got so used to it now, even though he's only been here for a short space of time, when a ball comes in, it's dealt with.
Yeah.
And it's most of the time him winning aerial battles. I don't think I've seen him lose an aerial battle.
The other one, but it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's really important to notice is that we always say it, when someone's playing well, the way to find out if someone's playing well is if their name isn't being mentioned. You go away and do your business.
Yeah.
Now today, Lovren, fair play. The guy is come in. It goes back to the point that I made. Maybe we needed someone next to Lovren. Maybe Lovren isn't this. He's been made to look. He gets this bad name and a bit of a bad rep. But maybe now he has that person next to him. Maybe it is the turning. I'm not saying that he's now all of a sudden a world class defender. He's still got a long way to go. But every time he's played next to Van Dijk, he seems to be going through games quite well and not getting exposed as much. So, as I said, at the moment, I'm pleased, and it's good to see that at the back we're looking quite assured.
Yeah, I mean, we always say, and I think everyone knows that games are won and lost in midfield. For me, I think our midfield today, Ox, Emre, Hendo were standout today, and I'm going to start with this one. Emre, that's probably the best I've seen you play for a long time. I think he's very, very consistent today. He moved the ball quickly. Some of the passes he was going, the through passes that he gave, he was putting his muscle about, putting his weight about. So Emre, totally, I'd say is well played today. Very, very good performance. What about for you? I mean, who was the standout for you today in the middle?
Yeah, Emre was alright. Nah.
Come on.
Look, you have to give props where it's due. Getting the ball, he moved it quickly, and to be fair, because Newcastle didn't press us high up the pitch, so there wasn't loads of space in midfield, and he got the ball and moved it quickly. I thought Hendo played very well today. The passing, really refreshing to see him and Emre. Really refreshing to see getting the ball at the feet and looking forward and trying to penetrate the other team, trying to break through the lines. Really, really refreshing to see that and getting the ball and fizzing it into feet and allowing those front three to play. But my guy, for me, Ox was so good to see that today. I'm not going to get boosted and get above my above our stations and say, oh, that's it now. You know, he's the one that's going to play midfield. He has got shit games in him. We know that, but it's really good to see that he is now starting to get those assists and starting to run at people, which is what we say is very good. People keep saying, oh yeah, he should be starting. You know, now can he start for England? Whoa, let's chill. He's still, still got a long way to go. But it brings me back to the point. I'm not bashing Arsenal. I know it's easy to do that, but Arsenal let this guy go. This guy wasn't playing for Arsenal. He wasn't playing at Arsenal. Now he's got accountability for his performance. Same goes for Theo Walcott. He's playing for Everton. They lost today, and they are shit. But he is assists, getting getting in the right place, getting a run of games. Kieran Gibbs, all of a sudden, although West Brom are shite, but he's playing games. He's getting through games. All of a sudden, Arsenal are always injured. So something doesn't quite add up there. And Ox is another one of those guys. He's now got accountability for his performance. He knows that if he plays poorly, he won't play. So you have to up the levels, and he has. And lately, it's been so refreshing to see him getting the ball, slipping it, sliding it through defences, getting us on the front foot. And it's obviously, I guess, if you're one of the front three, you're loving it.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal never would have happened if it wasn't for Ox. His acceleration with a couple of 2 to 3 steps is lightning fast. And when he got there, he wasn't greedy. Laid it off to Mo Salah and a goal. And the thing is, it's like you said, it's his confidence now. You can tell he's loving it. Even he's smiling and he's probably enjoying it. And he even said when he has bad performances, he puts his hand up first and says, look, hey, I'm not playing good up to the standard I want to be. So the hunger, the desire, for me, is perfect to see from him. And he's slotting in perfectly. Today, he did a fantastic performance all game. And I think the crowd appreciate that when they come off the pitch as well. So Ox, well done. Big performance today. And just keep it going.
So I'm going to put a question to you. And I'm saying to everybody else who tunes in and watches our videos, but someone please, tell me about Sadio Mane, because he scored, right? And I know everyone, that's been thrown in my face loads of times, but like, oh yeah, you say this and that, but he scored.
Great finish, by the way.
Great finish. It was a good finish. You can't deny that. His acceleration was fantastic. Yeah. It's the same thing he did against West Ham. That acceleration over 2 yards is unbelievable, right? So props for that. But on the whole, I'm not having his performance. If you had to take somebody out of the front three, he'd be the one that goes first, I think.
But what do you think it is, though? Do you think it's just like poor decision making? What is his problem? Because at the moment, like even when he's playing this game, his touches were poor and his decision making was poor, and then suddenly he scores an absolute worldy finish, finishes the goal.
I don't know if it's a manager's dream or a manager's nightmare. Because it's a dream because you're like, the guy can play poorly and he'll get a goal. He can do rubbish stuff and he'll get you a goal. Is that a manager's dream or a nightmare? Because you think to yourself, I'll tell you what, if I just have somebody with a little bit more quality, a bit more consistently, then it's all round. Is it better to have in? Sometimes you might think, is it worth giving Woodburn a go or whatever? But you can't. It's weird because you can't disrupt the front three. But I didn't think he was very good. I thought he scored his goal and it's fantastic. And I guess the positive spin that you put on it is the fact that he keeps going and he gets himself in the right positions. Yeah. But it's just fucking hard work when you're just like, bruv. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He gives the ball away when there's no pressure. He's an easy 5-yard pass, he undercooks it, and you're just like, oh, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? But then he gets up the goal. So I don't know. I'd love to hear what people think. Maybe I'm being harsh. I don't know what you think.
I totally agree with you. I think, like you said there, I'd love to hear what other fans think of the situation with Mane, because he's a terrific player. He does score amazing goals. He offers a great acceleration, but some of his decision making, and it's not just now. It's for the last few weeks, has been a bit sceptical. Yeah. And loads of people have given various different reasons about Mo Salah's performance being amazing and him wanting to be at that level. No one's talking about it anymore. I don't know what it is, but I'd love to hear people's views on it, because he is an amazing player and we've seen all the levels he can achieve. But I just can't put my finger on it. And maybe it's something to do with his positioning, because he started from the middle towards it.
He started the game quite central. Yeah. And the other thing is he copying celebrations. It is quite funny, but you know what I mean? What's all that about?
I'm not sure what's going on there, to be fair. But Firmino, I think, find it funny because he looked back at Firmino when he did the celebration. So there's obviously something going on there. But
it'd be good to know what it is. But no, as I said, again, front three are frightening, and it is frightening. They can even again like today, Salah. There's a few times you look at it and you think, it's a bit of a waste, but he's unbelievable because he does so much other good stuff. And it's the same for Mane. He gets away with a lot because you can afford to get away with a lot because that they'll go have another chance. I guess the way to look at it is top 6. How many of the top 6 teams would take Mane? I'd say Man City probably don't need him.
Yeah, Man City probably wouldn't need him.
He'll get in at Chelsea.
Yeah.
He'll get in at Man United.
Yeah.
You mean he'd play at Spurs? I don't know. Would you take Mane for Spurs?
No, I wouldn't change Spurs. I think Spurs got a good setup, what they got at the moment. So
everybody else below that would, but whereas everybody else, I think in the top 6 would obviously make space for Salah.
But the thing is, like with what you said about Mane, he can be like one of the world's best. He has that ability to be there. I think one of the world's best. So, but
big statement. I don't think
it is a big statement. But like I said, he's so on and off. But when he is good, he's very, very good. He's sometimes unplayable. Sometimes, you know what I mean. So that's what I mean. But obviously, I'm not putting him up there. So don't get it twisted. Yeah. We always say we can't keep talking about these guys, but you have to, because the consistency level of these guys is phenomenal. Firmino and Salah keep doing it week in, week out, and it's not easy to do that. You can't just say we can ignore these guys because they do it every week. You can't do that, because to perform at this level every time, and Firmino was once again involved in the goals in the second goal, and where he's the one who won the ball back, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, you've got to acknowledge, and the thing is, as Liverpool fans, we've been through a load of shit for the last few seasons, and more, and some, because it's always like, oh, we promised so much, and then it always fails to deliver. But it's weird, because I hope I'm not the only one that's like this, but Liverpool fans at the moment have got an expectancy that today we would expect them to win that game, and it's nice to have that. It's nice to have that.
It's been a while
to have that confidence, but I hope we don't start taking these for granted, and we still enjoy these wins and enjoy these performances, and give props where it's due, because it's been such a long time since we've gone to, and you do look over your shoulder at teams like Arsenal, and you look at the way they're going and where they're going as a club. I don't want us to ever go through that again, because we've had a situation before when the transition was tough. It was so tough. So yeah, it was really good to see that, and that's why it's important to enjoy the victories and enjoy these performances, and having people like Firmino and Salah and Mane and so on and so forth. But
so man of the match for you?
Mine was probably the Ox.
Yeah, I think it was an easy one for me. He was standout. I'm not saying that people like Hendo and Emre and Firmino and all these guys, it is a team effort, but Ox today, hats off to him all throughout the game. He offered us so much aggression, speed, power, what he was signed for.
And class, and a bit of class. Yeah,
totally. So yeah, I think that's an easy decision. So on to Porto and then United. Now that's a nice game to go into with Porto, with the fact that it's already done.
Yeah.
But what do you think about United?
Massive game. It's just like the creme de la creme of our season. All Liverpool fans and Man United fans will look at. They'll look out for. If I'm being honest, I'll look out for the Man United game first, and then I'll look out for the derby. I'll look out when we play United, and then when we play having the derby. I'm sure Man United fans are probably the same. I'm just excited for it. It's just because it's going to be such a good game.
But do you think it could define who comes second and third?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. I think it's basically your semi-final, isn't it? Well, final for. I think whoever wins that will go on. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping Chelsea get beat tomorrow, and then it gives us a bit of a gap in the top 4, which would be nice, which would be great. If we manage to get a result against Man United, which would be nice if we did, then yeah, I think it kind of propels us and it puts us up in there. Do you think the same? You agree?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very important game, and I think it will define who pretty much comes second. I have to give props to Man United, because I didn't think they are a great team. But the fact that they're still here, there's 9 games to go, and they're still in second position, or third, shall I say, but they're still thereabouts for the whole season. So you got to give hats off to Man United.
As I said, I find it bizarre that Man United fans to this day are like, Mourinho's so boring. I hate the way we play. Bruv, look where you lot were 2 seasons ago. Do you know what I mean? Just get real. It's a transition. It's things take time. They're so spoiled by having Fergie. Listen, you ask Arsenal fans, ask Liverpool fans, and Tottenham fans, the transition it does take. You don't want to get in that circle. And Mourinho, it's not pretty and it's not like the most free-flowing football, but you're winning games. You've got the best goalkeeper in the world, right? And he has saved you so many times, but you're winning games, you're picking up points. The Champions League performance against Sevilla was poor, but you're going to win the tie, probably 4-0. Do you know what I mean? And I think Man United fans, some Man United fans, you just get off your high horse and stop talking about, we should be doing this, we should be playing a certain way. The other team that talks about playing a certain way is West Ham. The West Ham way. West Ham way. Fuck the West Ham way. Fuck the Man United way. Just win games of football. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Man United are like a huge club. Whether it does pain me to say it, but they're a huge club, right? So Man United need to be winning. They need to be competing in these trophies and these tournaments, and they need to be waving the flag for the Premier League. And Mourinho's doing that. So it's going to be a really tough game, a really good game. I'm obviously looking forward to it.
I think every fan's looking forward to that match. So, and then just to finish off, I mean, you got any messages for the big high end spenders in Merseyside? And you got any last message for them?
Mate, piss off. That's what I've got to say for you. Piss off.
Oh my God.
Everton.
They were going to finish above us, apparently, at the beginning of the season after how much they spent. You're shit.
The one thing that really winds me up about Everton and the fans and all that sort of stuff is before the season, they always talk about, looking forward to we're going to do this. Liverpool shite, we're going to be better than them. Bruv, just look at yourselves. Look at yourselves.
They're already booing Allardyce. Oh, God.
And the thing is, they're booing Allardyce. Allardyce is he got them out of
trouble bit, yeah.
Because they were going down.
And suddenly they should be winning the league now.
Yeah, they were going down. So, you know, it's funny to see where they are and how they're going to, the tide's going to turn. We're going to get a new stadium. We're going to do this. We've signed a striker from Turkey. He's going to be X, Y, and Z. He's dog shit. Dog shit.
All right. So anyway, let us know your opinion on this game. If you think you agree with our opinions, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.